Today we're taking on the ultimate challenge. We're making cheesecakes even cheesier than a dad joke convention. How do you not get it? Dad jokes are cheesy, so it's gonna be cheesier than a dad joke convention. Dad jokes are a thing. Get ready to be wowed by a dessert that's not only scrumptious, but it's super easy to make. Let's get started, shall we? In this recipe, we're gonna embrace the power of the humble cashew. These are gonna create a smooth and luscious base for our cheesecake filling. The cashews need to be soaked to help soften them, making them easier to blend into a smooth and creamy consistency. You can soak them overnight, but we're going to speed up the process by boiling them in hot water for half an hour. While they're boiling, we're gonna start preparing a crust for our cheesecakes. Vegan graham crackers can be a little hard to find because most graham crackers are made with honey. But don't worry because we're gonna be using pecans. This will actually make it so much better. So first we're gonna grind up the pecans. We're going to mix the ground up pecans with 3 tablespoons of melted vegan butter and 2 tablespoons of white sugar. You're going to need a muffin tray that's been lightly greased. I cut up little strips of parchment paper that I'm going to place in the slots in a cross formation. This will help us to pull our cheesecakes out of the slots when they're ready. You can skip these steps and just use baking cups, but doing this will create a better presentation for your cheesecakes. Then you can start spooning the crust into the muffin tray. Press it down at the bottom of each cup. We're going to bake this in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. You don't have to bake this, but baking it will give it a crispier crust. My cashews have finished boiling, so I strain them and rinse them with cold water. Now I'm gonna add them into the blender. I'm going to squeeze the juice of 1 lemon. We'll add that to the blender as well. Here I have 2/3 of a cup of vegan yogurt. I'm using vegan yogurt because vegan cream cheese can sometimes be a little bit hard to find. The vegan yogurt will bring the same level of tanginess and will actually make your cheesecake a lot more smooth and creamy. I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup of melted vegan butter, or you can use coconut oil. Half a cup of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/4 cup of organic white sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna blend it up until it's smooth. That tastes really good. After your crust has finished baking in the oven, set it aside for about 10 minutes to let it cool. Then you can start spooning in the filling. We're just gonna lightly tap this against the counter to release any air from the filling. Now we're gonna place this in the freezer for 4 to 6 hours.
6 hours, that long?
4 to 6.
That long?
Yeah.
You gotta explain it. Like, you need to understand. I need a good understanding if I'm gonna invest this much time.
This is to allow them to set and harden to make them easier to pull out of the muffin tray, and they will set a lot faster than if they sit in the fridge. Before I put them in the freezer, I'm gonna cover them with another baking tray. While our cheesecake is starting to set, we're gonna prepare a quick strawberry coulis to go over top. You can use any type of berries to make any type of coulis. Today I'm using frozen strawberries. In a small pot at a medium-high heat, I'm gonna add in 340 grams of frozen strawberries, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of orange juice, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. We're going to allow that to cook until the strawberries are soft and syrupy. This should take about 5 minutes. Now that the strawberries are done, we're gonna blend them for about 30 seconds. We're gonna pass the mixture through a sieve to extract the syrup. Use the bottom of a spoon to press it through. This will need to cool for about 15 minutes before we top it onto the cheesecake. The cheesecake has been sitting in the freezer for about half an hour, and now that our coulis is cool, we can add it on top. I'm also gonna decorate each cheesecake with a fresh strawberry. Then I'm gonna cover the cheesecakes again and place them back in the freezer for the remainder of the setting time. So it's been 4 hours and I think these cheesecakes are ready. Oh yeah, they're coming out nice and easy. It actually is really good. It's so rich and creamy. The cashews bring in that velvety texture without even tasting them at all. And the flavors complement each other so beautifully. It creates a dessert that's perfectly balanced, not too sweet and bursting with fruity freshness. If you enjoyed this recipe and want to see more dessert ideas like this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all my latest videos. And for even more delicious vegan recipes, head over to my website at earthtarocco.com where you'll find a treasure trove of plant-based goodness just waiting to be discovered. Have you never heard of dad jokes?
I'm trying to be politically correct.
When someone makes a cheesy joke, it's a dad joke. Like, a dad would make that joke. You always made cheesy jokes.